Hello guys, PC here with another YouTube video for you all today, and let's talk about the Super Bowl. This one we're staying on top of. Let's talk about the Super Bowl, man. Oh yeah, the Chiefs, Buccaneers, who won it all? The Bucs did very easily. The game was not close, which is disappointing, right? When you go to the Super Bowl, you want them to be the most entertaining game of the year. Is really hypothetically what we want. This year was the Ravens-Browns. I thought that game was crazy entertaining. You want it to be the most entertaining game of the year. The last time we had usually ones with Tom Brady too are usually very entertaining ones, because usually a lot of his Super Bowls are one scores. Like besides last night, go back to the Rams 13-3. That one was kind of boring though, no offense at all. But then the other two before that, one against the Eagles, crazy entertaining, 41 to I think it was like 41 to 33. It was a really fun game. I can't even remember the exact score, but like I said, really fun game that one was. Then the Falcons-Patriots, ending that game was insane. First Super Bowl in overtime. Then probably my favorite Super Bowl of all time, you got the Patriots-Seahawks with Tom Brady in it. So usually Tom Brady games are pretty good games. That one wasn't. It wasn't. Right from the get-go, 31-9, Buccaneers won. So two reasons. I said aggressiveness was not going to be the problem. I said both teams were going to be aggressive. The Buccaneers were still aggressive. And what I say it was going to take to beat the Chiefs? I said a pass rush was going to need to be. I think I said a pass rush needed to happen, and that's what the pass rush was crazy. Mahomes had absolutely no time. Buccaneers were after him. For a while, I saw some people saying this game was on the refs. Even if you don't like the refs' calls, this game was not on the refs. The Chiefs scored 9 points. The Chiefs scored 3 field goals, 9 points. Even without the refs, take the refs out of it. The Buccaneers legitimately scored more than 9 points. Like, they scored more than 9 points. So no matter what happened, really, the Buccaneers won the game. The better team yesterday won. I don't think the Bucs were better than the Chiefs this season, but towards the end they started playing like it. The better team won yesterday. And so the game was somewhat halftime show. Didn't really watch it. The parts I did not like, so I stopped watching it. Yeah, and pretty much that's about it. Really, with the Super Bowl, to be honest. It was really fun. Mahomes had some of the craziest incomplete passes I've ever seen in my life. You had the person who ran across the field, the fan that ran across the field. Now, if you're at a football game, never run across the field. You get in massive trouble for that, and you face time for that. Don't do it. It's fun sometimes for us to watch, but don't do it. It's a bad decision every single time. But no, it was a fantastic game. And yeah, it was real fun. For me, I still had a good time. Even though it was an absolute massacre, I still had a good time. All the people who scored touchdowns yesterday in the Buccaneers were, even who scored points, were new people. Tom Brady was not here before the season. Gronk, 2 touchdowns for Gronk, not there before the season. Antonio Brown, not there. Leonard Fournette, not there. And then Ryan Suckup, their kicker, not there. So these were all new players this year that played for the Buccaneers that scored points. They won the first home game in the Super Bowl. And the main takeaway though, all that fun game, you could have watched the game. I don't need to describe much more of the game. You guys could have watched the game. That's the most watched event most watched sports event in the entire United States every single year. So even if you're not a football fan, you probably watched this game. So you don't need me to describe that anymore. The biggest takeaway for me is Brady's the GOAT, and everyone knew that. Like, everyone knew Brady was the GOAT. Before even making the Super Bowl, he was the GOAT. But for a minute in my mind, I thought Mahomes could have challenged the GOAT spot. Like, I was very doubtful even before this year happened. I was like, I don't think Mahomes is going to do it. For him, he needs to pretty much get 6 Super Bowls and more for me to consider him the GOAT. After last night, I don't think Mahomes has a shot to be the GOAT. I really don't. He can be up there. He can become one. He could be one of the greatest of all time. But I don't think he will be the greatest. You know what I'm saying? He could be like he might be in there with some of the other greats, like Peyton Manning or Drew Brees, or he can be in conversations with people like that. I don't think he's going to take the spot of Tom Brady. Tom Brady has more Super Bowl wins than any other NFL franchise. Patriots have 6. The Steelers have 6. Brady has 7. I think he just surpassed Jordan's rings. He is literally... This was his first year on the Buccaneers. He went to the Buccaneers and was like, "Hi, how you doing? I'm about to give you a Super Bowl win." Just like that. They weren't even in the playoffs. For the last 17 years, pretty much since 2002, once they won their Super Bowl, they made the playoffs 2 times, won no games. Tom Brady was there for 1 year. They went to the playoffs that year, so they had 1 playoff appearance, they had 4 wins, and they had a Super Bowl victory. It is absolutely stunning what he did to this franchise. Just because he was able to do that, I'm going to consider him the GOAT. Yeah, without Belichick, I think he solidified himself as a GOAT. For Mahomes to even be in consideration, he needs to win 8. He needs to win 8 Super Bowls to even be in consideration, in my opinion. Look what Tom Brady does with the talent around him. Even when he was in New England, it was crazy impressive. The talent around him was, especially towards the end, was minimal. And it became more and more minimal. This year, he has a bunch of talent they put up, and they beat the Chiefs 31-9. 31-9. And this Chiefs team was one of the best teams I've ever seen in the NFL. It was definitely one of the best offenses I've ever seen in the NFL, and they won 31-9. Tom Brady is the GOAT. He is the greatest of all time, and I don't think anyone will ever precede him in football. Not only, and let me really rephrase this. He's not the greatest football player of all time. He is the greatest person who's played a professional sport, especially within American sports, to ever play. I rank him higher than Jordan, higher than, I think it's Wayne Gretzky, the hockey player, than any of the baseball players. It's Tom Brady and everyone else. Tom Brady and everybody else. He is the greatest athlete, greatest professional sport player we've ever seen. For what he does to a team, what he leads them to accomplish, Brady is the GOAT. Brady is also, what helps Brady too is he's 43. Like, are you kidding me? He has won this Super Bowl, played very well in that Super Bowl, motivated the entire team around him at 43, and he's not even considering done. He said he's coming back next year. He played phenomenal. He's still at least a top 10 quarterback in the league. Like, just straight up out of anyone. Not the top 10 on the older quarterbacks or NFC quarterbacks. Just top 10 in the league today. And he's 43. He's still able to reach out to this younger generation he's playing with. And he's able to motivate them to play better and to win games. And he leads them to win games. And himself is playing phenomenally as well. He is 43. And he's the GOAT. For me, he is the GOAT. Mahomes, I don't think is going to play that far in his 40s. Just like I said, what Brady has done in his career, what he has done is stunning. Last night solidified it. I think he's the greatest of all time, not just with football, but with all the other sports. Football, basketball, baseball, soccer, boxing, hockey. He is the greatest of all time to play a sport in America. Let me hear your takes on that in the comment section below, and see you all next time with some political content, and peace out, y'all.